Hi everyone, Volv here. So today we're going to talk about critical in ROO. I'm sorry if you're waiting too long, since our last ROO educational content. I was busy in real life and didn't have enough time to create more contents. But I think right now is the right time to actually talk about critical. Because we have Shadow Chaser as one of the most popular class currently. We're going to talk about some mathematical formula about critical chance calculation and critical damage calculation. And don't skip the video, because we're also going to talk a little bit about some myths regarding critical in ROO. So without further ado, let's jump into the first topic. Let's take my noob stat as an example. Here we can see my critical resist and my critical damage resist value. Crit race means the chance resistance. It will be directly additively against our IT point to be calculated as the critical chance. Let's take a sample on a critical build attacker stat. So on this simulation, we will try to calculate how high is the chance of 259 crit points towards 185 crit race. Let me reveal the formula here. So in this simulation, it would be 259 minus 185, then divided by 100. But what does crit underscore COEF mean? Crit underscore COEF means how much the value of the critical chance of the character is inherited into a criticalable skill. Like on Rune Knight, their skills have 0.7 crit underscore COEF as stated here. So if we assume this simulation is a critical chance calculation on the said Rune Knight, the result is a 51.8% chance to land a critical damage. But on every other criticalable skills that does not state a description like this, we can all assume that the skill has crit underscore COEF value as 1 by default. So let's say it's AGX skills that's simulated with this number. The value will rise up to 70% since the skill will inherit the crit chance fully. Crit chance will have minimum value 0% and maximum value 100%. To determine if it will land a crit or not, the ROO system will roll a float number between 0 and 1, and if it's less or equal, then the crit underscore chance it will be counted as crit. So that's all what we need to know about how to calculate and determine if an attack will land a critical damage or not. Let's go to the next topic then. Before going to critical damage calculation, let's talk about some trivia. ROO myth number 1. Critical skill can miss. The answer is no. You can try to see the detailed experiment on my previous video. Let's go back to my noob stat to learn about the critical damage calculation. And also, let's use the previous attacker critical status as well. As you might already guessed, crit damage resistance will be directly used against critical damage value. It will be simply attacker critical damage minus target critical damage resistance multiplied by 1.5. The calculation will be 1 plus 0.715 minus 0.35, then multiplied by 1.5. Remember that critical damage has its own base multiplier, which is 1.5. This means, even if you have 0 crit damage value, it will still be a 1.5 times your non-critical damage. This is why you can hear everyone says that you might want to prioritize crit damage over other things in PvE. Because every number increment in the crit damage, it will be multiplied again by its base multiplier 1.5. But it's almost never the case on PvP. I don't want to put too much detail here since this video is only planned to discuss solely about crit damage. You guys can check my older video there about why most of the time going for melee or range enchant will be better than crit damage enchant in PvP. Before ending this video, let me give you another trivia about crit damage. ROO myth number 2. Critical damage ignores defense. To answer it straight up, it's a big no. But I can see where the confusion comes from. Because on the very old classic pre-renewal Ragnarok Online, crit was indeed ignoring defense entirely. But of course, in this iteration of ROO, defense is still calculated by critical damage. So don't ever neglect your DEF and ignore DEF. Okay folks, that's about it for today's video regarding critical chance and critical damage. If you like videos like this where I try to reveal some kind of calculation or formula in ROO, consider to subscribe. See you on the next video.